Are you sure you're right?
People often believe happiness will come after achieving success, but that's backward. Happiness fuels success.
Do you ever notice this? Many people believe in a very familiar formula: success first, happiness later. It sounds reasonable, but the problem is this formula often makes people run their whole lives and still feel like it's never enough. Imagine this. Someone says, "When I have more money, I'll be happy." Then they get more money, but then they say, "When I have a bigger house, I'll be happy." After they get the bigger house, they start thinking, "When I have more freedom, I'll be happy." Do you see the loop? This is a very common logical error of the human mind. We place happiness at the end of the road. The problem is that road usually has no end, because success is like a ladder. You climb one step, then you look up and see 10 more steps, and your brain says, "Not enough." The funny thing is, many people believe they are running toward happiness, but in reality, they are just chasing an upgraded version of success. Here's a simple example. A student thinks, "When I graduate and get a job, I'll be happy." After getting the job, they think, "When I get a raise, I'll be happy." After getting the raise, they think, "When I get promoted, I'll be happy." Does that sound familiar? Happiness is always the next step away. It's like saying, "I'll start enjoying life after life becomes perfect." The bad news is, life is rarely perfect. There's actually an interesting
What's
paradox.
This is so
Many
confusing.
psychology
Get
studies
outta
show
here.
that people who feel satisfied with their lives often achieve success more easily. In other words, success doesn't always create happiness. Sometimes happiness helps people achieve success. But the human brain prefers to believe the opposite. Why? Because the brain loves clear goals. Buy a house, earn $1 million, get promoted. These things can be measured. Happiness cannot. There's no number for it, no KPI. So many people unconsciously turn happiness into the final reward of the game.
Later.
The only problem is this game usually has no final level. You can see this everywhere. Someone works 12 hours a day to relax later. Someone postpones joy because they believe there will be time later. But later often turns into not yet. The irony is that when people focus too much on the future, they start missing the present. Like someone running a marathon, but forgetting why they started running. This doesn't mean you shouldn't pursue success. Success still matters. Money, career, goals, all of these have value. But if you place happiness after all of those things, you turn happiness into a condition. And conditions can always be postponed. There's actually a much simpler way to think about it. Instead of saying, "I'll be happy when I become successful," try flipping it. I'll pursue success, but I'll allow myself to be happy along the way. It sounds small, but it changes how you see life. You still work, you still have goals, you still want to grow. But you don't wait until you win to allow yourself to feel okay. Because otherwise, something very strange can happen. You might achieve many things in life, but still feel like you're standing right before the starting line of happiness. And here's the interesting question. Are you chasing success to become happy, or postponing happiness to chase success?
However, the brain quickly adapts to new achievements. It doesn't get used to success, it thrives on it. That's the key.
You just reached your goal but feel normal. Humans have a very interesting logical flaw. We believe, once I achieve that, I'll finally be happy. Got a salary raise? That should make me happy for a long time. Bought a new car? That excitement should last forever. Got promoted?
Wow, so shiny.
I should feel proud all the time. But in reality, not really. Your brain has a very special mechanism. It quickly gets used to new achievements. The first day you buy a new phone, you clean it like it's a treasure. You place it gently on the table like it's an egg. 1 week later, it's mixed in with your keys, earbuds, and wallet. 1 month later, you toss it on the bed like a pair of slippers. The phone didn't change. Only your brain got used to it. This happens with almost everything in life. You think, once I achieve this, I'll be happy. But once you get it, your brain quietly says, meh, it's normal. Psychologists call this the hedonic adaptation effect. In simple terms, your brain is extremely good at turning amazing things into normal things. You buy a new car. 3 months later, it's just my car. You get your dream job. 1 year later, it's just work. You reach a big goal. Soon after, you start thinking about the next one. And then humans fall into a strange loop. Set a goal, chase the goal, reach the goal, get used to the goal, feel normal again, then set another goal. Sounds a bit absurd, right? We spend years chasing something, but our brain only needs a few weeks to turn it into something ordinary. But wait, this isn't completely bad. If your brain couldn't adapt, you'd face two big problems. First, you would never stop feeling sad after something bad happens. Second, you would never feel the urge to move forward after something good happens. Because the brain quickly adapts to achievements, humans keep growing and moving forward. But here's the real problem. We often misunderstand where happiness comes from. We think happiness comes from the destination. But in reality, happiness often lives in the process of moving towards it. The days you are trying, the moments you are learning something new, the times you feel yourself improving. That's when your brain feels the most alive. Because once you reach the goal, your brain will quickly say, okay, what's next? So if you're thinking, I'll be happy when I achieve that, you might want to change it a little. Don't wait for happiness at the moment you arrive. Find it in the journey getting there. Because once you achieve the goal, your brain will quickly say, yeah, I'm used to it. But the more interesting question is, if our brains always get used to achievements, why do we still believe that the next goal will make us happy forever?
Satisfaction from success can disappear quickly. That's why it's so fleeting. Remember this.
Have you ever succeeded and still felt empty? You work really hard, you set goals, you push yourself for years. Finally, you achieve it. And then something strange happens. The happiness lasts a few days, sometimes just a few hours. Then everything feels normal again. Sound familiar? Humans have a very interesting logical flaw. We believe that once I achieve that, I'll be happy for a long time. But reality works differently. Your brain has something called hedonic adaptation. In simple terms, it works like this. When you get something new, your brain gets very excited. But after a while, it starts treating that thing as normal. A very simple example. The first day you buy a new phone, you clean it, you admire it, you charge it like you're taking care of a baby. 3 months later, it's somewhere in your pocket. 5% battery, you don't even care. Success works the same way. You might think, when I make $10,000, I'll finally feel satisfied. You reach $10,000. Your brain says, not bad. Then it immediately asks, so, 20,000 next? And the race starts again. The problem isn't that you're greedy. The problem is your brain is designed this way. It doesn't want you to stop. It wants you to keep chasing the next goal. That's why many people achieve success, yet still feel like something is missing. They think the problem is, maybe I'm just not successful enough yet. So they keep running. More money, more recognition, more achievements. But the feeling of satisfaction keeps fading away. It's like drinking seawater. The more you drink, the thirstier you get. This is one of the most common logical mistakes humans make. We believe the destination will give us lasting happiness. But in reality, your brain only gives you a short reward. Then it resets everything. So, should you do? Here's a simple trick. Don't focus only on the outcome. Learn to enjoy the process. If your happiness only comes from winning, you'll only be happy for a few days. But if you enjoy what you're doing, you can feel satisfied every single day. A marathon runner understands this very well. If they only enjoy the moment of crossing the finish line, the 4 hours before that would feel like torture. But if they enjoy the act of running, then the whole journey becomes meaningful. Success itself isn't wrong. Goals aren't wrong either. The mistake is expecting them to fill your entire life, when in reality, they are just small checkpoints along the road. So the next time you achieve something, celebrate it, but don't expect it to make you happy forever, because your brain will soon say something familiar. Not bad. So, what's next? And maybe the more interesting question isn't, how do I become more successful? But rather, how do I enjoy the game before my brain asks for the next level?